Hey guys, welcome to Gab About Me. This is my new beauty and skincare channel. I am super excited to share with you guys my makeup ideas, my skincare routines and necessities, and all that jazz. It's going to be a fun time. I hope you stay and continue watching. This video is going to be a Q&A where I asked you all questions on Instagram about skincare and makeup. So let's get to it. Okay, my first question was a weird one. It actually wasn't even makeup or skincare related, but I'm gonna keep it in because I thought it was pretty funny. It was coffee or tea. And this one was actually kind of hard to think about because I feel like I drink way more coffee than tea, but I would probably choose tea just because it's so versatile. You know, there's obviously iced and hot just like there is coffee, but I feel like flavor wise there's more versatility and kind of use out of it. You know, some people use certain teas to go to sleep, or some people use certain teas to wake up and all that stuff, and even to get rid of sickness. So I feel like you can't really do that with coffee. So yeah, that's my answer to the coffee or tea one, which I thought was so funny. My next question was, do you use a sponge or a brush to blend out your cream contour? I always use a sponge. I don't like brushes. There are certain brushes for foundation that I like to use, but I really am a stickler about using brushes because no matter what technique that I use, whether I'm stapling it in or, you know, kind of using circular motions or whatnot, it just doesn't look good as it does with a sponge. Even when I do use a brush for anything, I like to go with a beauty blender and just dab it in because it kind of smooths it out and gives it that airbrush look. But I don't even really use much of a cream contour. I do use Milk's bronzer stick, which I kind of carve out my jawline and my cheeks to kind of give an emphasis on my cheekbones. That's kind of all that I use, but if I'm going to use that and blend it out, I'm definitely going to use a sponge. My next question was, what's an affordable highlight that glows from within and doesn't look glittery? Now, I am a huge ColourPop fanatic. They have awesome Super Shock highlighters and they have different formulas. So if you go on their website and look up the different shades, they will tell you whether they're pearlized or glittery. Pearlized is going to give you that shiny glow, kind of like this one is. This is Anastasia Beverly Hills, which I will get into that next. But it gives kind of a glow from within, but doesn't look sparkly. And they do have glittery formulas too, so if you're really into that too, I would look into ColourPop as well. But another great one, which I mentioned before and I'm wearing right now, is Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm using the Sugar Glow palette. I don't have a favorite shade. There's 4 different shades. One's pinkier than the others, and then there's another kind of like goldy and has subtle pinkish into it, and then another goldy one, and then kind of a white or glow one, and those are super pearlized and I love it. That is on the pricier side. It is $40 originally, but I got it on sale for $25, and I've seen it on sale multiple times since I got it, and that was back on Black Friday. So just kind of look out for those sales. You know, use your reward points if you go to Sephora Ulta, and I'll give some tips and tricks later on how to kind of keep it affordable. Next question was, do you use a moisturizer or sunscreen for the last step in your skincare routine? I use a moisturizer because usually the moisturizer I use has SPF in it. If it does, lather that stuff on good because you really want to use SPF. Another recommendation I use is if it doesn't have SPF, or if it has kind of like a smaller amount, like SPF 15 rather than SPF 25 or 30, which is more recommended, I would use that moisturizer and then go in with a foundation that has SPF. I know the Too Faced Cosmetics Born This Way foundation has SPF in it, so make sure that you're either using a moisturizer that has it in there or a moisturizer then putting sunscreen on. I recommend using a moisturizer or foundation that has it in it, so the sunscreen doesn't give like that kind of greasy, creamy look that it has. or research other sunscreens that have it. I have products that have SPF in it, so I don't really use an actual sunscreen, but if you are going to, kind of research the different formulas that it has so it's not going to affect your overall makeup look. Do you know any skincare that controls redness? I am a huge believer in First Aid Beauty. I just started out using this brand in November and I have not gone back. I think they are the best. I have a lot of redness in my skin and I've always had problems with it. And a lot of cleansing products usually dry out my skin, especially because so many cleansing products before had a foaminess to it. I love their face cleanser. It retails for $21, which is kind of more on the more expensive side, but I mean, it's not too bad compared to some other brands that do just as well. It's a cream-based one, so it's really good if you have dry skin. I'm from Kansas, so we're really known for having combo skin because sometimes it's dry, sometimes it's humid, but it is really more on the dry side, especially when it's windy. It sucks. But yeah, I love that brand. Now, if you have oily skin, I would go with the water-based or gel cleanser because those help oily skin the most. But if you do have dry skin, the First Aid Beauty face cleanser is a light cream, so it's really nice. It gets a lot of your makeup off. But if you're going with a heavier cream-based cleanser, it's not going to take off makeup as well. It's known for not doing that. That's why I also recommend that you double cleanse. I like to use a balm to melt away the makeup and then go in with my face cleanser. My next question is, do you know any good color correctors and any that are affordable? I do not use any color correctors. Like I said, I have a lot of redness in my face, so if I were to, I would use a green one. I used to use a green primer from Maybelline. It was a Master Prime, and Smashbox also has a really good green primer. I don't really use it just because I don't have a lot of dark spots on my face. I have kind of like bags under my eyes, but they're not discolored. It's kind of hard to explain, but yeah, I don't know if you can kind of see that I have like bags under my eyes. That's just how they naturally are, but I don't really have any darkness to color correct. But I will say that I know NYX has a great color corrector palette. They have like, I think 2 different ones. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. Another brand that I see with color correctors, I know they're called concealers, but a lot of them color correct, is the LA Girl Pro concealers. I know there's a few different colors. The one that I see the most is the red one. So if you have kind of discoloration around your lips and whatnot, I know a lot of people use this. They use it kind of around here, especially if you kind of get like a mustache here, they'll use it to color correct that. But if you have like dark spots and whatnot, I recommend researching to see what color you need to use and then looking up those 2 brands that I just mentioned. My next question was, what do you recommend for a good toner? I actually don't use a toner. I knew about them before and I use kind of more like a witch hazel, but I noticed that it was drying out my face. And then I started to watch Hyram on YouTube. If you don't know who he is, I'll link his channel below. But he is an awesome skincare specialist on YouTube. He started blowing up last year. He really gives a great insight on why toners just aren't, like, they're not necessary, because a lot of the other products in your skincare routine are gonna do what a toner does. Doing a toner is kind of just repetitive and almost over processed on your face. So I recommend going to look at his channel. He can give a much better insight than I do just because I'm not an actual skincare specialist, medical esthetician, or dermatologist PA. So I would definitely recommend checking him out. So I don't really have a good toner to recommend. My second to last question was, what are your favorite brushes for makeup? I started out using BH Cosmetics just because they are a great affordable brand. If you're not familiar with them, you might have seen their Take Me to Brazil or Take Me to Rio palette. It's a really, really colorful palette. It's one of the first ones that kind of popped up a few years ago. I bought their brushes, I believe, at the beginning of 2017. And they have done me wonders. The bristles on the brush are not gonna come off like the really, really cheap ones, not to mention any names, but I know e.l.f. is kind of known for doing that. They've really upped their game in the past few years, but I still kind of see that with some of the brushes that I have bought from them. I would definitely recommend for beginners BH Cosmetics brushes, especially for the face. I think their face brushes are so good. Next, I would recommend Tarte. I think Tarte has really good face brushes. I just got gifted some for Christmas and I cannot stop using them. I use them a lot for my blush and bronzer. Next, I would recommend IT Cosmetics. I don't own any. I have used them before, but I don't own any personally, so I can't show you any that I have. But they are top notch. If you're willing to invest in yourself, definitely recommend IT Cosmetics. And then next, I would recommend Sigma and Morphe. I think Sigma and Morphe are great eyeshadow brushes. Like, they are top notch for me. They are up there. I have a lot of Morphe brushes and they do have kits that you can have. Morphe and Sigma I know have a lot of sales going on because of kind of everything that's going on right now in the world, but definitely take advantage of that. I got gifted some back in Christmas a few years ago and I cannot stop using them. I am so faithful to my Morphe and Sigma eye brushes, so definitely check them out. My last question was, what is your favorite place to shop for makeup? That answer would definitely be Ulta. I think Ulta is so versatile because you're not just gonna see skincare and makeup, you're gonna see hair products and whatnot. Sephora is great too, you know, I've loved them for years, but I just find Ulta more appealing. They have more brands, especially when it comes to affordability. I am one of those girls you'll see shopping more at the front, where you see ColourPop, NYX, Juvia's Place, all those brands, but still, you know, looking at all the Too Faced stuff and other high-end brands on the other side of the store. But Ulta is awesome with the reward system. I always buy stuff where they are worth 5 points. If I get an email from Ulta saying, hey, if you buy NYX products from this state to this state, they're worth 5 points. And that's awesome because you usually get 1 point per dollar. So if you buy $50 of stuff, that's 50 points. And I know 100 points, you can get $3 off a purchase if you want to use those. I really started to collect points at the end of last year, and I got myself all the way up to platinum because my grandma and I had spent like $500 worth of points, and it ended up amounting to like 2,000 points because we kept constantly buying the brands that Ulta would say, hey, this is 5 points from this range to this range. So that is a great way to kind of invest yourself in Ulta and the rewards points because you can gain more. And because of that, I went from like a normal shopper to platinum. I can go to the next step up, but I believe that's diamond. I'm gonna have to spend a lot more money to do that. You don't have to do that, but that's just a huge reason why I like going to Ulta. You know, I mentioned Sephora before. They're great too. I know you can see a lot more higher end brands there. So if you like to shop higher end brands, then, you know, Sephora is your place. And then obviously drugstores. I love Target. Target has a great selection for makeup, and Walmart does too, but Target's just my main girl. So those are places that I love to shop for makeup. Like I said, I am a huge Ulta girl. And then I also just started subscribing to Ipsy and BoxyCharm, so maybe I'll start liking other brands because I also do like to shop brands on their own site. ColourPop's a huge one. Even though they're in Ulta, Ulta only has a limited selection of items that they can sell, so sometimes I just go on the brand's website and they also have great deals too, especially if you sign up for their emails. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed my video. That's all the questions I had for today. If you want to ask me more questions, just DM me on Instagram at gababoutme or put a comment below. I will be willing to make another video with Q&A or even making a post on Instagram. If you haven't been following me, I make a lot of different posts that don't have to do with just my makeup looks, but also giving tips, you know, on how to match your foundation or great tips for doing good eyeliner. So drop a comment below or DM me if you have any other questions. And I have a ton more video ideas to film. If you guys have any specific things that you would like me to film, also DM me or comment down below. I have had such fun filming this and I can't wait to continue my channel. I really hope you enjoyed this and really got some great insights on what I believe in and what is good for skincare and makeup. And I hope you go and do your own research, because what I think is great might not be great for you. So it's really, really important that you do your own research. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys are doing well. I know everything's kind of, up in the air with everything going on, but I really, really, really hope you guys are staying happy, safe, and healthy. And wow, I'm just so excited to keep continuing this channel. Make sure to drop a comment, like it, subscribe, follow me on all my social media, and I will be back very soon.